Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Mount Royal University Open House. This is a pre-recorded spiel, basically, about the Aviation two-year diploma. My name is Joss Engen, and I am the Assistant Chief Flight Instructor with the university, with the Aviation program. Been around for about 3 years as an instructor, and I went to the program for 2 years prior to that. So total of 5 years, and I've loved every minute. Joining us, you guys will hear later from Joe Wagner, who is an alumni from the program from 2019, as well as Alyssa Sterling, who is a current student, and we'll hear from them later on. So starting out, the fleet that we have at Mount Royal is built up of mainly Cessna 172s and Senecas. Our Cessna 172s, we have 4R models, which you can see on the bottom left is built up of a G1000 glass cockpit, which we use to help students prepare for the future of aviation and what they'll probably encounter in their next job. We also have on the bottom right, you can see one of our Cessna 172S models. We have two of those. One S model is a classic steam gauge six-pack, and the other S model is built the same way as the R models with the G1000 avionics package. We also have two Seneca 5s, which is in the top right-hand corner. Very awesome plane to fly, super, super fun, very, very fast, and has two turbocharged engines, very fun to fly. Along with that, we have a all-sim, which basically gives the students a perspective of sitting in a plane without it actually moving. It is not a full motion sim. However, it does have a 180-degree view of basically sheet down for projectors. And it might not actually move, but it does feel like you're moving because it does give you a full perspective of everything. We also have a G1000 replica of our Cessnas in the bottom, which is available to students whenever they'd like to fly it, as well as in the top right-hand corner, which is called a Redbird Crosswind Trainer, which we use. There's no screens. It's a very, very kind of, I would say, old school. And we just use it to help students perfect their hands and feet so they can get better at crosswind landings and takeoffs. So for the classes and flight training that you can expect here at MRU, in the first year for the classes, you can expect navigation, meteorology, law, history, engines, a survival class, which lasts about 2 weeks and ends with the final being a survival day or day and night, I guess, out in the wilderness, as well as the gen eds that are associated with that can be more, that can be explained more talking through registration. In the first year, you can also expect to fly basic VFR navigation, basic instrument flying. You'll get a night rating as well as your multi-rating in the first year if you stay on time with everything. In your second year, you can expect a multi-engine course, 2 crew coordination course, human factors course, aviation safety, and as well with the gen eds as well with any aviation, an AV university course. The second year, you can also expect to do IFR holds, approaches, IFR operations in general in the plane. You'll be doing your Group 1 rating, which is your multi-engine IFR rating, as well as do your commercial flight test prep course, which then ends in the commercial flight test. So the ratings, as I already mentioned, are you'll get a night rating on top of your PPL. You'll get a mountain endorsement. It's not a rating or anything, but it's just something that we kind of sign off our name saying this person is good to go fly in the mountains. Your Group 1 IFR, so you can see the picture on the top right there. You don't really see anything outside, yet you're still able to fly. On the bottom right, you also see one of the planes that we do fly, Feckle, which is one of our multi-engine planes. And yes, you do get a multi-engine rating. So a lot of people always ask us, why MRU? Why is MRU the best choice for me? Now, MRU is an amazing choice for a lot of different reasons, and here's just a few that we'll touch on today. So the different partnerships, it is an aviation diploma, classmates, the environment that you get. Obviously, airline operations is one of the things that we really focus on here at MRU, as well as we have an ABI accreditation. So some of the partnerships that we do have with Mount Royal is Sunwing, Jazz, AirSprint, WestJet, and Porter. These partnerships are amazing, and they're a huge, huge draw for a lot of people coming to MRU. For example, Jazz, we've had a partnership with for a very long time. They work a lot alongside with Air Canada, and they do like Air Canada Express routes and things like that. And with our program, Because of the prestige that we have and to the level that we train our students, Jazz has created a partnership with us saying that the top performing students in class and in the plane will get an opportunity to interview with them for a position as a first officer. And that means a student at 250 hours has the opportunity to fly out of Calgary International in a passenger carrying aircraft. We also have a similar deal with Sunwing, which we recently signed of last year, which allows, again, top performing students to fly as a first officer in a Boeing 737 out of Toronto. So extremely good partnerships. We, like I said, also have AirSprint, Porter, and WestJet, which are phenomenal. For AirSprint, you end up working on the ground in their operations offices as basically a go-getter, do whatever they ask you to do for a year. And then after that year, you're a first officer on a private business jet. So a lot of great opportunities for students right out of graduation if they're able to perform and hold up the standard that we have. We are geared towards airline operations. So again, a big draw towards MRU is that everything that we do is based on airline operations. So we want to prepare our students for the future. We don't want to just train them for the flight test. We want to make sure that they're prepared for whatever's coming next. So for example, we have SOPs, standard operating procedures. So we have standard calls that students must make throughout their flight. We have specific procedures set in place to make sure that they're safe at all times and that they understand how the operations of the hangar work, that they can only ever do something one way. And if they do it a different way that appeases to them, it's against our SOPs, which helps them in the next step because every airline operation has SOPs and every pilot has to adhere to those SOPs. We practice crew resource management, or CRM, with all of our students. So basically, a crew has to be able to work together at all times. It might not be someone who you've ever known before or even spoken with, yet you have to work like you've known each other work together like you've known each other for a very long time. So CRM is something that we practice and we work on in class, as well as we have simulator missions dedicated to these students practicing CRM with probably another student who they've never really spoken to yet, or at least maybe they're not close friends with. At MRU, we do have something called mutual flights, which is pretty rare to find at a flight school, where basically we send up two students to do a mutual booking to accomplish whatever exercise we have them accomplish. And basically, we'll have one pilot as the pilot flying, and then the other pilot on board is going to be a student as the pilot monitoring, and they have to work together, even though it is a small aircraft that doesn't require a whole lot of management. We still have the students act together as a crew so they can, again, be prepared for the next step of acting together with someone else. We have a partnership council, which involves a plethora of different pilots throughout the industry, whether it's a pilot in a management role or a pilot just in a regular captain or a first officer position. They come to our school and they meet together once every 3 or 4 months. And they talk about things in the industry that they want to see pilots do better. Someone coming from a flight school, they say, oh, they might struggle with this in particular. So we have a focus on that to make sure that our pilots come prepared for the industry. We also have an SMS system at our school, which stands for a safety management system. Basically what it is when something goes wrong, we can file it away as a safety concern, and then just follow it up with a safety chief that we have who makes sure that we're always improving our safety standard, that we're not satisfied with just not having accidents. We'll be satisfied when everyone was 100% safe all the time, which is also a very common trend within the industry. I did mention the ABI, Aviation Accreditation Board International. And basically what ABI is a group of individuals who go around to different flight schools throughout North America, and they give you accreditation based on whether or not you will go above and beyond what the standard is for pilots graduating from flight school, or what the minimum requirement is for pilots and students. So recently we were reaccredited by ABI in Canada, and we're one of the only 2 schools in Canada to hold this ABI accreditation, because we go above and beyond what Transport Canada says is required of our pilots. Now, another question that people ask me very often when they want to come to MRU is student life. What is student life like? So basically, we have classes from Monday to Friday, and you normally have class 1 to 2 times a day, depending on how heavy your schedule is. And Depending on the student and depending on the courses you're taking, the homework that comes with that does vary from time to time, whether you need a couple hours a day or multiple beyond a couple hours a day for an entire week. We also have students coming out and flying 1 to 2 times a week. And it is dependent, again, on the student's availability. If they have a high class load, they probably can't come fly as much as we'd like them to. If they have a low class load, maybe they're flying more than their fellow students. So basically, a flight, or what we call a mission, can take up to 5 hours in a day. So it really does take up some of your time because you have to get to the hangar. Once you're at the hangar, you have to prepare for your flight. You have to prepare the plane, make sure the weight and balance is okay, read up on the mission that you're about to go accomplish, make sure that you're prepared for it. You have to go on the flight, which can take, including your debrief and your post-flight debrief, can take about 3 hours, maybe more. And then you have your post-flight responsibilities, such as putting the plane away, cleaning the plane, fueling the plane, so on and so forth. And then you have to get home. So it is a lot of travel, and it does take up quite a bit of time. The cost of the program, obviously aviation is a very expensive venture that a lot of people take on. And so you can see here that flying for the 2 years is around $85,000. And again, that does depend on the student. If a student struggles a little bit throughout the course, they'll have to pay more in additional training fees. And this cost does not include class tuition. It doesn't include living costs or anything like that. So that can add around $13,000 to $22,000 on top of that cost. So it can be around $100,000 for the total 2-year program. So for the aviation application process specifically, first off, the requirements for our program. If you're right out of high school, you'll need math and English 30-1. 60% is the minimum. Now, we do have a 70 to 80% competitive average, so we do encourage students to go above and beyond that 60% to really solidify their entry into the program. You'll also need a private pilot license as well as a Category 1 medical. Now, the private pilot license doesn't mean that you have to have it before you apply. You can apply with the understanding that you're going to get it. So you can get a conditional acceptance into the program with the understanding that you'll get the pilot before the program starts. And if you are a mature student or a post-secondary student already, the requirements, you can go under the admission requirements and costs for the program at the mru.ca website. While you're going through your PPL, you can give updates to the program so that we can follow along to make sure that you're going to finish on time. So here's a list of a couple of things that we would like you to accomplish. And when you do accomplish them, let us know so that we can keep tabs on you. For the PPL documentation and the medical as well, we want you to send us those. You can send us either the certificate, you can send us the sticker that is given to you in your blue aviation booklet, or a stamp for a renewal. For your private pilot license, you can send either your signed student pilot permit or your aviation document booklet in lieu of that. Along with that, we also ask that you send us your radio operator certificate and government photo ID. With your documents, basically, again, we just use it to track your progress. We want to make sure that you are on track to get into the program come September. We don't want any delays or anything like that, so we help you along with the process to make sure everything is ready to go come the day so that you can get that full admission rather than a conditional. So like I mentioned, we have 2 testimonials coming up from Alyssa and Joe. Just going to come over here so that we can say hi to our alumni and current students. So Joe Wagner is one of our alumni, and I'll give him a chance to give you guys a hello.
Hey guys, how you doing? Doing it.
Awesome. So yeah, I was wondering, Joe, would you be able to give us a little bit of a testimonial about your time at MRU?
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time at Mount Royal. I know that in the 2 years that I was there, it was very professional, and I really enjoyed like the coursework that we were doing, and the fact that there was actually aviation specific classes that you could take like on campus, and it was actually geared towards like real life stuff that you'd be doing eventually. And I really
Awesome.
I enjoyed my time and my flying, and we got it done fairly quick, and I was happy with that.
Fantastic. And what is it that you do now, Joe?
I now work for a northern operator and fly medevac.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
And we're also going to say hi to Alyssa Sterling.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alyssa. I am currently in my second year here at Mount Royal, and I am the Aviation Student Executive President here at Mount Royal. So a little bit about me, I guess my background. I was a flight attendant for 3 years, and I always knew I wanted to upgrade and work in the front instead of the back. So during my time at Air Canada, I asked a bunch of pilots like what the best method of entering the industry was. And the most popular opinion I heard while I was actually in the industry was to go through an accredited program such as Mount Royal. So before starting the program, I knew that Mount Royal was a very well-known school. I actually flew with a lot of Mount Royal alumni as well. And also the accreditation board, which is a huge, huge thing for our school because it really does signify that the pilots, the training that we go through is above and beyond what is required of us. So it does give us a better idea of what the industry is going to be like. So I don't know, here at Mount Royal, like I think that it teaches you the really important things that's going to be expected of you when you are hired as a pilot. So such as the importance of being prepared for all of your flights, the importance of being prepared for any scenario that could possibly happen. A huge thing that for Mount Royal is the importance of professionalism. So it's actually a part of our grade for our academic flying courses is to show up, act professional, dress professional. We have our dress code of ties, which is expected of us when we get in the industry. It's basically the exact same uniform. Another huge thing would be how to fly in two crew operations. So what is your responsibility as a captain? What is your responsibility as a first officer? So that is taught to you during mutual flights, during our simulators. So that's really drilled into us. And a little bit more about the program itself. Like I can honestly say it's just like a really fun program to be a part of. This 172 we fly are very new. They fly like a dream, and also they're very well taken care of. So I never have to worry whenever I'm going to the hangar if there's going to be any maintenance problems because I know there won't be. We get to do awesome mountain flying. I just finished my multi-engine rating. I had a blast doing it. And the instructors are very approachable and they're all very knowledgeable. Like any questions you have, they'll be able to answer it. So the combination of academic courses along with the flying courses, it's definitely enough to keep you busy, but it's a manageable workload for sure. So the program here, it's engaging and it's exciting, and you're going to make some really great connections, not only with people in the industry, but with really like-minded pilots in your program. Like the connections you're going to make with them, who knows how that's going to help you out down the line. So yeah, that's it for me. If you don't have your PPLs yet, I wish you all the best of luck, and I do hope to see everybody at the program.
Awesome. Thanks, Alyssa. And we really appreciate all of your time and everything you guys have done for us. And we're happy to see where you are now. So just before I ended, I wanted to show a couple just one or two last slides here. So if you have any questions, you can visit mru.ca/ask. Or you can register for a live admission session at this address here. Next, obviously, are you ready to apply? We hope you are. If you find everything that you need, you can apply at mru.ca/future students. Thank you very much for your time, everybody, and we hope you have a wonderful day.